Migrants who are eligible to work legally in Denver are being put on the fast track, but it's a small minority of the group here. It's happened again. The remains of dozens of people are found at a home tied to a guy who used to run a funeral business. Denver reconsiders its expensive plan to bill people for sidewalk repairs by the foot.
Oh, the dictionary definition. Vexatious is causing or tending to cause annoyance, frustration, or worry.
And that one word is quite vexatious in a bill that could change government transparency in our state.
He is adorable. Am I adorable?
And some unmitigated joy to end your weekend hours, because life is more than the worst things you hear about on the news. And plus, this is next. Most migrants overflowing from Denver shelters do not qualify for a legal work permit. The city screened who there is eligible, found about 400 migrants to move through that process, and quickly. Our Kelly Rinke has the story.
At stoplights in Denver, every car delivers hope for work. We've met migrants at intersections who wash windows because they can't be hired for most jobs.
A good many people are not eligible for work authorization.
The city believes of the more than 3,000 migrants in shelters, a majority aren't eligible for work permits. Screenings last week showed them few are.
I know we had about 400 people signed up.
400 signed up for work permit clinics this week. The city helped migrants fill out paperwork, but wished they could do more.
We've called repeatedly for an expansion to that program so that people who are here can go ahead and get jobs, can go ahead and stand on their own 2 feet.
The federal government granted people from Venezuela who arrived before July 31st temporary protected status, and with that, work permits.
That means that no one in our shelter qualifies under that program.
John Ewing with Denver Human Services says most often people didn't enter the country through an app. Asylum seekers use the CBP One app to legally go through a port of entry at the border.
One thing that you'll hear anecdotally is, I wasn't able to get an appointment through this. I wasn't able to do it. When I got to the border, they said it's going to be 3 weeks.
Ewing says migrants want to work, but many can't. Until laws change, Denver is helping the families that can.
Let's work with the population that can and get them taken care of.
Denver Human Services says the city gets messages all the time from businesses who want to hire migrants, chefs, hospitality groups asking for referrals once people do get a work permit.
I think, though, about some of those jobs, which are really difficult jobs to make a go of living in Denver or in Colorado on what they pay.
Yeah, so even for people that do get work authorization, they're telling folks, hey, Denver's really expensive. You don't have to stay here. Maybe you can move somewhere else where you won't have as much competition for a job.
Take some of the pressure off of the city,
Yep.
Hopefully make a better life for somebody who gets that legal permission to work. Kelly, thank you. So our weekend plans lately always seem to involve snow, and it is just cranking up now in the mountains, but already it's a bit of a brake light festival on I-70. Visibility has been suboptimal. This is head west on I-70 at Floyd Hill in the heavy fog there. This storm could drop a couple of inches of snow pretty quickly, like what we have seen in Fort Collins tonight. Meteorologist Lauren Robinson, no surprise, like that slushy storm a few weekends ago that we had to white knuckle it into the last minute to see what it was going to do. This thing is coming in as forecasted, right on time.
That's exactly right. And it is starting in some areas as just some freezing drizzle, but that snow is really going to pick itself up as we move through the rest of the evening and into overnight. So several of the advisories that are out there are going to expire at 2 a.m. tomorrow. And that just goes to show you that this is really going to be an overnight storm. And by the time most of us are out and about tomorrow morning, the system will have passed. But we take a look at our HD Doppler radar. We have a couple of areas seeing some spots of heavy snow. One is going to be the northwestern corner of the state, and then down south, and then of course, right across the urban corridor here, northern portions of the high country, foothills into the I-25, and then even pushing their way into northern portions of the plains. Now, as we zoom into the Denver metro area again, we saw some light freezing drizzle. The heavier snow hasn't picked up here, but it will. So Denver is included in this winter weather advisory. I'll have more details on this, what we can expect through the rest of the weekend, and your full 7-day forecast just ahead.
We're going to talk to you in a sec. A well-known prosecutor in Colorado is now implicated in accusations of retaliation against a judge who was handling a high-profile murder case. The Attorney Regulation Council just filed a complaint against Mark Hurlbert. Deputy District Attorney for Fremont, Chaffee, Park, and Custer counties. He was the lead prosecutor in the case against Barry Morphew, who was accused of killing his wife, Suzanne. A new complaint filed with the state Supreme Court accuses Hurlburt of joining an effort by DA Linda Stanley to discredit the judge in the Morphew case. The judge said that they began investigating him. The prosecutors went after him personally in retaliation for his rulings. In one text message, Hurlburt wrote, "Judge is messing with us again." New complaint includes text messages between Hurlburt and Stanley where they say that they should investigate that judge. Judge says they went after him for false claims that he abused his ex-wife and that their case was based on online conspiracy theories. Stanley could lose her law license over this, and with it, her job as DA. It's not clear if Hurlburt could face the same consequences. If the name's familiar, it's because he was an elected DA who handled the Kobe Bryant sex assault case in Eagle County years ago and then worked in Arapahoe County as a prosecutor after that. Just days before the state legislature considers new regulations on the funeral industry, there's been another discovery of mishandled remains. Dozens of people's remains. This time it's in Denver. Denver police say that they found the body of a woman who died in 2022 sitting inside of a hearse at a rental house off South Quitman in southwest Denver. Inside, they pulled the remains of at least 30 other people from a crawl space. Police found those remains during an eviction earlier this month. They've issued an arrest warrant for a guy named Miles Harford, who ran the Apollo Funeral and Cremation Service in Jefferson County from 2012 to 2022. The idea of new state regulations on the funeral industry gained momentum this fall after investigators found the remains of nearly 200 people at Return to Nature Funeral Home in Penrose, down in southern Colorado. Republican State Rep Matt Soper plans to introduce 2 bills regulating funeral homes. One of them would require morticians, funeral directors, and crematory operators to get a license. So when it comes to writing laws, every word matters. An and becomes an or, that changes a lot. Make a may, a shall, and things just got mandatory on you. Our Marshall Zellinger noticed an interesting word in a bill that could limit government transparency.
I'm thinking of a 9-letter word that essentially could be reduced to a 5-letter word like annoy or a 6-letter word like harass. But alas, this one is much more sophisticated.
Vexatious.
Vexatious is a word that will be defined in a new bill by Democratic State Representative Kathy Kipp.
The short title is Modifications to Lessen the Burdens of Responding.
Forgive me, I'm a political reporter and I've already lost interest.
My original title that I submitted when I filed this request was Curbing Cora Abuse.
This bill is about CORA, the Colorado Open Records Act, and accessing public documents. But this story is about one definition in the bill.
A vexatious requester means a person or entity that submits a request for public record, demonstrates an intent to annoy or harass a custodian.
The bill would allow the keeper of public records to delay the response from the normal 3 days to 30 days if the person is deemed a vexatious requester.
Oh, the dictionary definition. Vexatious is causing or tending to cause annoyance, frustration, or worry.
Using that definition, let me go back one line. The bill would allow the keeper of public records to delay the response from the normal 3 days to 30 days if the person is deemed annoying.
When it becomes very burdensome to our local agencies, when they're done to intentionally harass.
The bill with the vexing definition would limit the response for people who constantly submit open records requests, except reporters, like me, would be exempt.
I agree that government records should be open and transparent. We don't want to limit open and transparent.
Couldn't have spelled that word this morning, probably. As Kip told me, this bill is like building an airplane while flying it, meaning it will change, and the definition of vexatious might change. Our Kevin Vaughn found one part of the definition perplexing, which allows someone to be deemed vexatious, Kyle, if someone else has already determined that person to be that term.
You are one of the most vexatious requesters that I know, but that's why I like you. This is tricky business. If they're going to say, well, journalists, you can be as persistent and annoying as you want because we know your job has societal value, but just because somebody else is a citizen journalist or isn't getting paid for it, somehow they're vexatious? That's tricky.
And there are stories we have received because someone has gone through the effort to do this because they knew something, asked for the records, shared it with us to say, I think there's something here. And so there could be a missing link there if certain people who are deemed annoying can no longer do what they do in their spare time.
I'm going to let people in on a little journalism secret. When that happens, when a citizen journalist comes across something good and they share it with us, we of course have to double check it, but we'll reach out to, the city or whatever and say, give us such and such record, and I know you have it because you gave it to Jane already. And hopefully it expedites the public seeing it.
Vexatious Jane.
Vexatious Jane. Yeah, Marshall, thank you. A nonprofit that runs a mobile laundry for low-income folks in northern Colorado had their laundry truck get hit in traffic recently. The thing is out of commission. So the volunteers just started taking the laundry to laundromats and paying the extra money to have it done there so that kids going to school and adults going to job interviews and work don't have to do it in dirty clothes. In the last 2 days, your latest Worth Thanks microgiving campaign has raised more than $17,000 for Homeward Alliance's mobile laundry program. In Fort Collins, they mainly serve families with single parents who don't have laundry access at home. So you got mom or dad working, the kids are in school. That nonprofit saves them the time and expense of going to the laundromat because they wash and dry and fold the laundry in a day, have it waiting for them. In Loveland, it's the working poor and homeless who use the laundry service through libraries. Clean clothes for them are a key to staying healthy and being able to hold down a stable job. Scan the QR code on your screen or text the word THANKS to 303-871-1491 to get that link to join me and a bunch of others in donating to the mobile laundry program. And at the end of the month, they're going to get another big check from all of you who have signed up to make a monthly donation to the Word of Thanks Fund. You put in your information just once, and your donation is split among every nonprofit we support together. You can use that same QR code or text to get there. Homeowners will soon be paying to fix Denver's janky sidewalks, though the city is looking at changing who pays and how much. Colorado's got a new plan to cut down on pollution, and they're looking at lawn equipment.
The best good news that I have that over here, even with the cold weather that we have, we don't have any statics on this beautiful coat. So for me, sir, that's the good news.
No static on her coat, no pet hair on his coat. We go in search of joy to end our week. Next. Denver wants feedback on a new plan to fix the city's sidewalks and change how homeowners are charged for those repairs. So voters approved a new fee in November 2022 to charge homeowners based on how much of their property is along the street. And sure enough, people with corner lots were going to get hosed under that system, up to like $1,000 per year. Well, Denver has a new plan now. The city plans to charge a flat yearly fee, $150 per year for each single-family home. Multifamily units would pay $30 per unit. Low-income families can apply for a discount. City's asking for feedback on that new idea through February 27th. City planned to start collecting fees at the start of the year, but they pushed that back to July. Lauren Robinson, those folks with corner lots already get hosed when it comes to shoveling, especially anything on the north side. So then to get hit with that fee, that was going to be rough stuff for them, but they're going to take another look at that.
Yeah, well, hopefully that works out for everyone involved. Right now, though, we have a live look over downtown Denver where you can see that visibility really dwindling, especially as we continue to see that freezing drizzle to light snowfall in Denver. Right now at DIA, we're at 21 degrees, some light snowfall there, but with winds coming in from the east-northeast at 11 miles per hour, it does feel closer to 9 degrees outside, extremely chilly. We have a couple of areas seeing that heavier snowfall. One of them is going to be the northwestern corner of the state here, just north of the I-70 corridor. Down south, we're seeing a rain-snow mix south of Pueblo through Trinidad. And then as we zoom into the urban corridor here, we can see the heavy snowfall in northern portions of the foothills pushing into the I-25 corridor. And even as we take a look into Denver, just some spotty snowfall right now. That's going to continue to pick up as we go through the rest of the evening. We can see that here on our future cast later tonight. The snow really continues to pick up all the way through the evening. By around 2 a.m. when that winter weather advisories expire, we really clear out. Then that cloud cover moves out behind it. Tomorrow afternoon, a lot of sunshine. But as far as these winter weather advisories go, they're going to be in effect until 2 a.m. tomorrow. Most of the urban corridor, the I-25 corridor, expecting 2 to 6 inches. Those higher totals to the west where we could see 3 to 10, even 6 to 12 inches as we go through the rest of the evening. We also want to watch for those avalanche warnings through Sunday night for high levels of danger across Park Range and Rabbit Ears Pass.
Parks in Denver could soon get a little quieter, a little cleaner, a little greener at the expense of my freedoms, because some gas-powered lawn and garden equipment will soon no longer be legal in Colorado on public property during the summertime. After a lot of debate over the past months, the Air Quality Control Commission voted today to block the usage of gas-powered lawnmowers, chainsaws, leaf blowers that tend to emit more pollution during the summer ozone season. That's June to August. Instead, again, this is on public property. This is not your lawn, but on public property, those folks are going to have to go to electric lawn equipment. The Commission did not go as far as they could have. Climate advocates wanted them to ban the sales of new gas-powered lawn tools in the Front Range. So those new rules, again, on public property, think municipalities, takes effect summer of 2025.
My good news is we welcomed the next junior toller handler.
The new what now? A young dog handler in the making, part of your good news on a place full of very good boys and girls. The Colorado Kennel Club dog show is going on this weekend. We found it full of very fancy looking dogs and people who are more than willing to share news of whatever's good for them these days.
My good news is I'm here above ground and I'm working a dog show and it's awesome. But you know what? One thing about it is people's dogs resemble their owners. They really do.
He is adorable. Am I adorable?
That does not apply to me. I wish I was tall. I'm not. But I feel like, yeah, usually owners kind of act or look like their dogs.
Good news that I have, that I came, and thanks to God, today is another year for me. Today is my birthday, and I enjoy the day with my dogs over here. So that's a good news and a good blessing for me.
My good news is we welcomed the next junior toller handler.
My good news is I'm about to retire from the Department of Justice after 20 years.
My good news is I got my leg surgery done, and I will be up and running soon, and I'll feel better than ever.
He is going to give a go at the junior competition today. My good news is Shifra has qualified for Westminster.
My good news is I am living. I'm alive today.
Those are some very pretty looking dogs. Nate Lind, assignment editor, thank you, sir. He's got your feedback, so I'll have it for you next. Lissa in Aurora writes in tonight about funeral industry regulation, saying, how is it possible in Colorado that the person who cuts my hair needs a license, but a mortician does not? Well, Lissa, if I know anything about the way the government works, I would say that at one point, like when those laws were written, the morticians and the funeral home folks had much better lobbyists than the hairstylists did. And that's why one is required to have a license, the other is not. Roger in Lakewood says that his family switched from gas-powered lawn equipment to electric a few years ago. He says they loves it. Mower, weed eater, hedge trimmer, snow blower. He says they all outperform the old gas equipment and they're never hard to start, maintenance free. Roger, I switched a couple years ago as well and had the exact same experience. I miss the smell of gas, but that's a really bent reason to pollute, right? See you next time.